Let's see if we can get ourselves a Ruy Lopez real quick. Just do a quickie game, little fast one. Hey, I'm white pieces, so I get a little bit of the driving seat to see what I can put together. Wish me luck, friends. I've had a couple rough games lately. Did not go so well. So this is not going Ruy Lopez style. I have to shift mode of thinking. He's attacking, I'm defending. He's immediately challenging the center. Let's see, if he attacks, I capture back. So this guy has to go here. I could do that, or I could do that, but that traps in my bishop, and I really don't want to be using my queen as a defender if I can get away with it right now. And I don't want to block in my light square bishop right away. So yeah, let's just do that. That's fine. But you notice he was attacking, I'm defending, he's attacking, I'm defending. I mean, I'm not defending, excuse me, I'm not defending. So I need to get it defended a second time. So we've traded pawns. Why did I capture with my bishop? I don't know. That was probably a dumb move, actually. If I could undo that, I would go with my I would go with my knight. It forces it doesn't force, it encourages this trade. I just kind of snap my pieces. So yeah, well, this is what happens when I'm not really this is how I play the game. I make mistakes. I make mistakes constantly. Like that. That's a mistake. Isn't that a mistake? No, duh, that's exactly what we talked about. Sorry, I looked away for a second and I came back. I can still park this guy here, so it's not the end of the world. I'm just mad at myself for giving away my bishop that early in the game when I didn't have to. So I can defend and free up my dark square at the same time. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Notice this is defended, so I'm fine. This is defended, so I'm fine. That's now defended. This gets my my dark square bishop out. Question is, where does the dark square bishop go? Here or here? I think here. Because notice that is doubly defended. So that's really the only difference. I don't want to go here, obviously, and give it away. There's really no reason for me to stretch it all the way out here right now. Notice there's nothing back here to be pinned. So parking it here, it means it is a defended piece. So I'm always looking to keep my pieces defended whenever possible. I really don't like, I am nervous, I should say, about this, right? So there is some pressure there, but I'm always keeping an eye on things. I can go, oops, I could go here and exchange off that bishop. It puts him in check. It forces him to exchange the bishop. I wonder if there's a way that I can drive that queen away first, though. Nah, not particularly. Yeah. Notice the goal here is just to eliminate any weird pressure down this line. Now I want to get my queen off the back row. The question is, what do I want to do? Do I want to just start pawn storming? That might actually be a good idea here. Now you're thinking, geez, Joe, what made you think of that? Well, I've got really nothing going on this side of the board at all. So if I want to get something on this side of the board, I can start throwing pawns down. Now that is not the smart decision, right? It's not the best idea in the world to start throwing pawns around just because you feel like it. But there's nothing happening on this side of the board. I have 4 pawns. He's looking probably not there. He's probably going to go here or here. So let's go ahead and take care of that one. Notice I fixed my back rank issues. I've got an escape square. I do have to be careful though, because he does have this uncontested diagonal. So something I want to keep an eye on. Let's see here. If I were to go here, I mean, I've got it defended twice, so it's not really a big deal. That was my plan all along. Now, do we go here and try to have two connected pawns in the middle of the board? Do we go here, or do we go this way? Freeing up the center, which gives my opponent action in the center, although his king is still in the center. I do see a wee bit of a tactic that I'd like to consider at some point. Notice right now this pawn is undefended. When did I undefend that pawn? Oops, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, so this move here undefended that pawn, so he takes, so I need to capture back this way to keep that pawn defended. So that solves that one. Because otherwise he could just sneak down and take. So, yes, now I have opened up the whole center. My opponent has 100% control of the center. I have traded away my center pawns. Right? I've traded them away. They're gone now. So my opponent has gotten a bit of an advantage in that regard. But I do want to kind of slide this over here, drive my bishop here to put it on that diagonal. If my opponent castles, his rook will sit right there, which means I will have pinned his queen to his rook, both of which are better materials for me. If he moves his queen, I can exchange my bishop for his rook. I win a little bit of material. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. That doesn't do anything. I could slide this up to defend my, but then notice this is what happens when you push pawn. Remember, if I push a pawn, I am weakening a square. So if he pushes down here, do I have anything along that? No. Notice he could push here, but I'm going to go here first to drive this guy away, and then I'm going to move this knight. The question is, where am I going to move this knight, though? If he takes, he can't take. Notice he's in a pin. He cannot take. He has to remove this. Now, if he takes, he's not going to take. He needs to... He can move, right? He's free to move right now. Notice this pawn is protected, defended, so I can't take. That's something I hadn't considered. That's something I hadn't considered. Damn it. And now this is where those risky gambles do not pay off. He can take. He still can't take, though. Notice he still cannot take. Because he's pinned. So that's not going to happen right away. I missed that pawn move. Oh well. I would like to get rid of this somehow, but I can't until I move this out of the way. I've got to drive that. Well, here's what I could do. I can remove the defender of that pawn. All right, what's he looking to do? So if I would remove the defender of the pawn, he can take, but I can take back. This is a little risky. I'm probably missing something here, guys and gals. But now I've removed the defender of that pawn. I need to remove the defender of the pawn again, so I can take it. I hope you guys can't hear that background noise. I think the garbage man is, or the garbage truck is showing up. So we'll see what happens there. This has gotten a little icky sticky. could go here. Which attacks it that way. Let's try that. But he could defend it that way. Notice these are both defended by my queen. And he's not going to make that high piece for a low piece exchange yet. There are some games where sometimes sacrificing a queen happens, and like you can okay, so he's taking that pawn. He's looking for that pawn, but that's okay. That is okay. Now I want to look, so I'm going to leave this knight sitting here defending that pawn so he can't take that and continue to gobble up that way. Because I can take here with check. There's nothing in the way, and notice that guy is in danger. So this got a little weird really fast. But that's how chess games go. Man, that's why I like chess, man. Don't you guys like chess like that? Like, don't you guys like these games where stuff goes weird and haywire? Right? Don't you like that? I do. I like it when stuff gets all kinds of convoluted. I'm sorry. He can't go here to try to trap my queen because that puts him in check. The only defender of that is this. So I'm probably going to look at discoveries. I don't have any good discoveries with my knight here. Notice he is in alignment. He's dropping that pawn. The question is, do I do something like this, right, here, where I can pick up this pawn? That allows him to, no, because that allows him to take. So there's no good discoveries, like I can't move my knight, get a discovery on his king, and take his queen at the same time. If I were to do something like this, does that help? He can block, I can take. Or do I just take? I think I'm just going to take. Notice this are all defended. So I'm happy still. My opponent's going to have to be really careful because what happens if I move my rook here and I slide my queen there? I don't think there's a defense for that. What is he looking for? He's looking for this, which is fine because I've got it covered, but I think I'm going to stick with, well, what if I just take? Do I continue to eat material or do I move? I'm going to go with this one because this one is still a path here to this. And let's see, if my queen is here, the king can't go here. Can't go here, can't go here. That might be checkmate. Is there anything he can do to block that? No. So we are one move. I think I have checkmate on the board. I'm not certain, guys. I don't see checkmate patterns as well. That's one of the things I need to learn, and we'll probably do that together, right? We'll probably go out and we'll probably put ourselves a, yeah, that's checkmate. All right. Let's tell this person GG, well played. This is a close game, or started off close, but then my opponent accidentally dropped a piece. So I'll do a quick analysis here, just a very quick one. This was a shortish game, but again, looking for. So this is the Alekheine defense. Look at that. There's one we should probably study. I wonder if Marcus is around. We should probably bug him to see if he's interested in learning the Alekheine defense. Notice it is a move with tempo immediately on my pawn. Now I could. So the engine is saying that the most common move would be to go up here. I shouldn't say the engine. I'm sorry. The engine says yes, move up there. The database says many games were played where that move took place because it drives this knight away. But I'm not. I don't know this line, so I'm just gonna stick to principled moves. Move and defend. I don't know. So this pawn structure, I don't know. This would be typical in a Queen's Gambit declined type, where I would have pawns here and here before I move my knight. So I've seen this pawn structure before. And I'm happy to keep the tension because notice he has this pawn defended once, twice. I've got it attacked once, twice. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really do anything for me to capture. So I know that I'm not going to capture, but he is looking to capture with tempo. So I need to get that defended, which I do. He still makes the exchange. And here's where, yeah, the engine says better to capture. The game's played says better to capture with the knight. And like I said, without thinking, I just snapped that back, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept my bishops on the board. Another pawn move for my opponent. So these are the kind of things that pawn moves. One of the tenets of the principles of chess is don't make a lot of pawn moves if you can help it. I try to avoid pawn moves, but you see, I still do. I still have my where I will make these preventative moves. I'm still not great at knowing pawn patterns, and that's another thing we can look at one day. So we make another exchange. Getting your queen out early. So yes, this comes with an attack on this knight. But there are tons of squares my knight could go to that are not in any danger, right? So these squares I could get my these squares I can get my knight to, and it's not in danger at all. In fact, going here would put the queen under attack, so we'd have to move the queen again. I think this was a just a reactive move. My opponent's going, aha, here's an undefended piece, I'm gonna attack it. But one of the principles is don't move the queen too early. And notice he's still got a ton of pieces that need to be developed. So probably a little early queen move. I make a pawn move in order to make my next piece move. I don't know what this... Again, he's probably doing the same thing. Make a piece move, get the piece out, get the piece doing work for you. Same kind of concepts. And like I said, this is at this point in time that I started looking at this take. The engine says I should go up here, right? See, that was when during the game I said I want to see if I should do this to drive this bishop away, and yes, indeed, driving this queen away. Oh, but look at that! So they can take there. I can go here to defend that. Man, this is a complicated line, guys. I am because then here. I could take, he could take, I could take back? No, that wouldn't happen. I can take, he can take, I can take back. I'm up a knight at the end of the day. Oh boy, that's an ugly line. So these are what are known as engine lines, right? I'm not an engine player. I don't know these disgusting engine lines that would win me a piece at the end because I can't see that far ahead. But woof, that is interesting. All right, well, I went the conservative play instead of going for this risky play, but looks like I could have done it. Yeah, the engine wants me to start putting pressure out there. I'm not comfortable with that yet. Yeah, so I just made some standard moves. I was prepping this, so I wanted to prep this up. And the only reason why I chose to push this pawn instead of pushing this pawn and prepping it this way was because the queen is still here. So eventually, if he lets my pawn walk, I can get a little bit of pressure on that queen. And so I'm doing two things for one. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not, but that was, and you remember my preventative measure there. My opponent noticed that I was prepping this move, or this move, either one. My opponent noticed that, and so by putting this here, he puts pressure on it, but since I have it defended twice, I'm okay. If my opponent had taken here, I take there, he takes back, he's up a pawn at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm dropping a pawn by doing this, though. That was my fault completely. And you even saw in the game itself, I had to go back and see, wait a minute, where did I unprotect that pawn? And it was this move here. Now, luckily, my opponent snapped, and I was able to snap back. And then, yeah, you remember I said I wanted to do something like this, but I did not. I forgot about that pawn that was sitting there. So this was unnecessary. Got a little hairy here because I left this guy on pre, but I was lucky that he's pinned, so he can't move his king. And then, yeah, the rest of this game just kind of went the way it did. Wow, yeah, that's a huge swing. Yeah, this move, I did not understand what... Oops. Well, I did not understand what this queen move was for. Because notice, the only things that he can attack from this position are all defended. So I don't know what... I know he wants to control this pawn, but putting your queen in enemy territory is a risky proposition. So stop and think, why am I sending my queen all the way down there? You notice I did it too, right? I ended up coming here and sending my queen all the way down, but I did it with capturing. So I did it and immediately went up an entire rook. Now, I did have to keep concerns about making sure my queen can get out and not get trapped, but that to me, I felt like it was a worthy risk. This move right here, just to protect this pawn and maybe look at something like this, but even then, he's got this pin that he can't do yet. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't notice there was a pin, and he thought that he had 2 attackers and only 1 defender. But even then, I can defend here, and we could do a trade if we want. I don't know. I don't know what the game plan was, but you heard my game plan. Remove the defender. So made that trade. Remove the defender here. That was a good move on his part. Still a little iffy, because he's got his queen all the way out here just to defend this pawn, and unfortunately he runs out of time. Now he does pick up a pawn. This was a good picking up this pawn, backing up this chain. I did not see that move coming. I should have caught that was an easy pickup, but I didn't. Remember, I've said it 1,000 times. Rooks on the 7th row, or in my case the 2nd row, are hungry pigs. A queen is even hungrier because she can go up the diagonal, right? So I was able to take with check. Yeah, if he, yeah, this is where things got ugly for him, and yeah, at this point in time, he loses a whole rook. Doesn't even try to defend it. He doesn't even try to win back any material. Yeah, I don't know what this move was either. Like, why not come way out here and get your queen back into this to friendly territory? Maybe that's what he was trying with this move. But then to park it right here, like, what are you gonna do? Take my rook? I'm just gonna take your queen back. So I don't know what this was for. This queen move here seems to me running out of time, and yeah, you can see checkmate's getting real close. The engine says that the fastest checkmate actually would have been to move with check. He has to hide. I come here with check. Oof, yeah, I don't know. That's another line that I can't see. Either way, I felt that, yeah, as soon as he made this mistake, he left checkmate on the board. He just did not see the threat there. So, oh well. Fun game, short game. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.